What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode number 31 of the F1 22 Road to GOAT Driver Career Mode Series for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the penultimate round of Season 2. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that out before you see this one. There'll be a link in the top right hand corner of your screen now, and make sure to check out the playlist as well to get yourself caught up on all the recent episodes. Right, so, penultimate race of the season. We're taking a grid penalty for this one, so we'll start a bit further back, starting in P16. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Carlos Sainz could snatch the title today. His first World Championship is well on his grasp now, with a clear lead over Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, and we started to say back in P16, looking to try and make the most of the position we're in, and Alexander Albon again starting quite close to us, our former teammate there in P17, as we look towards the start of what should be a very entertaining Grand Prix. I haven't been to Bahrain since the opening of the series back in last November, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do today. In terms of strategy then, we're looking at a simple one-stop as usual, softs to hards for this race, so different to our mediums to hards we have in quite a lot of races this season, pitting on lap 8 and going on those hard tyres until the end, so it should be a good strategy. Will be a very interesting Grand Prix. Before we get into the race, then make sure to subscribe before we get to the start of F1 23 content on Tuesday. We get into both Breaking Point and Career Mode as well, and a bit of F1 World here and there as well. So make sure to subscribe and like the video before we get into the race then. The last few cars take their place on the grid. Ricardo and Verstappen on the back row, looking to try and make up some places as they can over the course of the Grand Prix, as will we. No more talking then, it's time for action. 5 red lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the penultimate race of the season. And it's lights out, foot to the floor. Go, go, go. Decent getaway compared to Latifi. We draw alongside the Canadian on the run towards turn 1. Stroll and Ricardo on the inside and outside. We almost get swallowed up there to cover off Stroll into the first corner. Go late on the brakes to the inside of Snowden and Ocon into turn number 1. 3 wide by the two of them through that very tight right hand of the first corner. Both these two cars getting clear. Albon on the left hand side there on the exit of turn 2. Get clear of him. We're going to try and take Ocon. He's got all screwed up behind. Snowden going towards turn number 4, the right-hander. Snowden there in front of us. Might try and go late on the brakes. He will go late to the brakes. There was a bit of contact perhaps with Mick Schumacher. He had to move out of the way a little bit. The German in the Audi. We've managed to get around Guan Yu Zhou alongside us here. So both Williams cars were now clear from the game. 3 places here on the start of this Grand Prix. So a decent getaway from us. And we now start trying to move towards the front of the field once again. Snowden our next target. He's having trouble getting around Mick Schumacher. We'll go look to the outside of the Japanese driver on the exit of the corner. Bit of contact there in the corner. We've managed to get over though. Only a mere tyre rub there. Side by side and going towards turn 10. That very tight left-hander. So he gets from the curbs there. And around he goes. There goes the AlphaTauri spinning off the course. And our first yellow flag of the day is brought out here on the opening lap. We managed to get away with it nice and clean. So into Peter. The contact we made didn't impact him in terms of that corner, but it did. Perhaps our presence on his inside might have just turned a bit wide there, so that's the reason why he may have gone on the curve. So we can't take too much fault for that. Side by side with him, and he just gets a bit too wide and spins out. That backs everyone up there. Zhou lucky to get away. Albon also gets away a little bit there, and there goes Vettel trying to Stroll trying to and Ocon gets held up behind him as well. So unfortunate for our teammate that we keep on moving though. On start lap number 3 now. DRS deployed for the first time in this Grand Prix. We don't need it to try and challenge Mick Schumacher in the Audi as we go towards turn 1. We're going to try and get close enough to go for a move to the inside into that braking zone. Last on the stoppers. Only just managed to get inside of the German, and on the exit up into P11, slamming the door on him through turn number 2. So now our next target being Kevin Magnussen. They're currently the last driver currently in the points. He's pushed further on now onto the end of lap number 4 and start lap 5, going to that final sector, chasing down K-Mag on the run towards the final right-hander. Go look to his outside and try and get lost in the brakes into the braking zone to try and come out on top on him. Trying to switch back on the exit, made contact back with his hat there, so unable to get past that time round. But DRS now redeployed as he charged towards that first corner on lap number 5 of this Grand Prix. The inside of Magnussen, and now back to the outside for the braking zone. Who's going to be last going into the corner? We're on his outside trying to make a move on the exit. We need a good drive off here. He wants to try and challenge him. We're going to have to force our way through at turn 2. He gets over the curbs. We slam the door on him, and now up into P10 into the points play in place, and can now start chasing down one Sebastian Vettel running in P9. Just in one place ahead of him is Carlos Sainz, the championship leader. So we could try and impede the championship fight if we want to here. Coming on to the start lap number 7 of this Grand Prix now, chasing down Vettel. We've closed the gap to him. It'll be very close to us to try and make a move into turn 1. We're going to try and go as late on the brakes as we can to make that move work this time round. There we go. Vettel has to give us the space to that first corner. He sees us coming, and now we're through on the inside. I have to try and get around him. We're on the outside of turn 2. Nice move there. No contact made, but up into P9. Can now start chasing down Carlos Sainz. He's going a bit further in his first stint, starting on the medium tyres in this Grand Prix. But in terms of our first stint, we're reaching the end of it now. So let's push on now towards the end of lap number 8. We're going to be looking at the first and only pit stop of this Grand Prix. So a number of cars coming in with us here. In towards the pit lane we come here, looking to avoid getting a penalty for the pit limit, getting under it just in time, and now looking for another stop. Back on the immersive pit stop this time around after a little mistake with the broadcast one in USA. Make sure what happened again for the last race in the next episode. Into the pit lane we come here, trying to avoid being held up by Magnussen too much there, but we managed to get rid of it on the exit. There goes Gasly come out in front of us, and Bottas gets out in front as well. So Valtteri Bottas was starting quite high in this Grand Prix. He had a very impressive qualifying, and the grid penalties only helped this case. But now he's fallen back to the field massively here, so he's got a bit of work to do in order to try and close that gap back up. Of course, once everyone pits, he should come out in a decent position, but he's fallen back from where he started because we passed Schumacher early. So trying to beat both Audis in this Grand Prix if we can. Of course, nothing if we do it, but to push on rather, we do need another place over Bottas. So come on to start lap number 11 in this Grand Prix. We've gained a few more spots from cars in the pits up to P12, but not everyone's stopped yet. So we've got a few more places to gain before we strike back into the point. We're going to go to the inside of Bottas into turn number 1, who locks up on the front right, and almost goes straight on into turn 1. We've managed to take advantage of that up the inside and taken away P11, and we're now one place away from the points. Once again, we find ourselves hunting down Sebastian Vettel on the Aston Martin for that final points-paying place. Push on to the start lap number 12 now, reaching the midway point of this Grand Prix and closing the gap on Vettel once again. Going to try and repeat what we did earlier. If we can get close enough, it's going to be very, very tight on the inside into turn 1. This time it's even easier in that respect. Vettel left us all the room in the world. We slide up the inside and take away P10, and now can start chasing down the AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly for P9. Gasly about a second and a half up the road here. The hard tyres definitely don't feel as fast in terms of natural pace as the soft tyres did. That's come to expected. Yellow flag in front of us, not quite sure who that is. It's one of the Haas cars here, and that's Nicholas Latifi who's got a problem. He might be pulling the car over to the side, and yes he is. Nicholas Latifi out of the Grand Prix here in Bahrain. That's a very, very poor showing, unfortunately, the Haas team who have had nothing short of retirement so far this season. We've had several of them with Magnussen, and now Latifi has suffered one too. Have a look at just what's happened here to the Canadian's car, which seems to have just conked out with just over half of the race still to come. Running in a good position. I think he was yet to pit. So for where he was in a decent spot, and the car just gives way here. No smoke coming from it to start things off, but we do get a bit of puff of smoke as he pulls the car over, and there it is. So another place game for us, but unfortunately for him, Nicholas Latifi is indeed out of the race. This moves up into P8 now. We can start chasing down Gasly, but Vettel is right there behind us after Latifi's retirement. It's charged towards turn 4. Vettel to the inside of us. He's got the run going into the corner. We'll have to give him the space on the inside. He might up our insides, be very, very close. We can hold the traction, get a good job off on the outside, and make our move stick and stay in P8 for the time being. But Vettel and Bottas still might be a thorn in our side over the next few laps. We can try and kill away, and Gasly now 2 seconds in the clear as opposed to 1.5. So Vettel giving us trouble here as we start number 15 in this Grand Prix, reaching the halfway stage, and Vettel again finds himself closing in on the much longer main straight. He charges towards turn 1. He goes to the inside. No defense there. I barely saw him coming because I was too busy focusing on Gasly in front. Vettel now has a good chance to try and take that place back from us. And don't count out Bottas. He's there in the fight too, so be careful for him as well. Charging towards turn 4. Vettel to the inside. Going to cover off as much as we can, but Vettel's already got the nose in inside of our Alpine. And we tried to switch back on the exit, but didn't get enough to run. Bottas stays behind. Let's try and take on Vettel once again to try and reclaim this position as best we can. And got to do it quick too, because we can't allow Gasly to get away too much. Going to dive to the inside of him into the right-hander here. Very, very close indeed. But we've done a fair few number of dives here on Vettel in this Grand Prix. But he's pushed back on into P15 and can start chasing down Gasly. He's now 3 seconds in the clear. That battle has not helped us in the slightest. He's pushing to lap number 17 now this Grand Prix. 13 more laps to go. 12 will be 12 more when we come to the line here. But these hard tyres, they're doing the job in terms of wear. Of course, they're not worn out just yet, not by a long way, but we are closing the gap to Gasly. He's now down to 2.4 seconds. We're not closing enough. At this rate, we won't catch him in time for the end of the race. He's coming to start lap number 21 here. You see, we're only getting a few tenths in those last 4 or 5 laps or so. So these hard tyres aren't doing the same sort of job the softs did, which we charged through the field in our first stint. The second stint was all about chasing Gasly. We haven't had much success there. We've managed to get away from Vettel and Bottas though, so that's quite a success in that respect. And we're still just chasing him over the course of this Grand Prix, just trying to hunt him down to try and take away P7. As we push on to start lap number 24 again, this is about the closest we got. The gap staying consistent here. If anything, we're falling back by a tenth or so each lap. Vettel and Bottas now 3-4 seconds back from us, so not really what we can do. We're stuck in quite a bit of no man's land at this point. I'll push further on now towards the end of the Grand Prix and have a look at what our teammate Esteban Ocon's doing. He's currently challenging those cars further back from us. He's challenging Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher for places outside of the points here, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what he can do here against K-Mag. Of course, we managed to take him earlier. We'll see if our teammate can do the same thing. Schumacher falling out of favour there. He's got one of the Williams cars challenging him. You can see Ricardo and Verstappen, who have had no luck in this Grand Prix, staying back where they are, thanks to the incident on the first lap at Snowder. Ocon getting a run here, looking to try and make a move on Magnussen, going into the next corner, into turn 10. Magnussen goes over the curb and goes wide. That allows Ocon to go siding through and take a place. So it's rare we see what Ocon's doing in these races. So it's good to see he's trying to make some moves here. And I think he's closing in on those cars, trying to take the top 10 place. But he's got way back as we start the final lap of this Grand Prix. He hasn't got much hope. And neither do we. Gasly now 4.5 seconds to go. We pushed these hard tyres too much, and now we're falling away, and we're actually close to Vettel and Bottas and Miles Gasly at this stage of the race, which is unfortunate, but I'm happy with the P8 at this point. Up front, though, here comes Charles Leclerc, who's controlled the race throughout here. It was quite unlikely that he'd be able to keep the championship going to Abu Dhabi going into today, but he's not going to do it, though. Leclerc comes to the line to win here in Bahrain, and Carlos Sainz, who is currently running in P5, is on course to win his first Drivers' World Championship. He comes off the last corner. The smooth operator succeeds at last. Almost won it in Kota. He's won it today. Carlos Sainz is the 2023 Formula 1 World Champion and the champion of Season 2 of F1 Road to GOAT. Fantastic season for the first year of the partnership between Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. Hopefully they'll have many more successful years to come as we look to try and move up in Formula 1 and challenge them. But for today, though, after that grid penalty, we've gone from P16 to P8. A successful day and good momentum to look forward to Abu Dhabi in the final round. Fantastic job. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch Gasly in the race, and we've been given P7 for some reason. We finished P8 there. What on earth has happened? We've gotten driver of the day here, but I have to have a look at just what's going on. But we'll have to watch Sainz celebrate first. We'll find out what happened there.
And with that, another year of Formula 1 draws to a close, and a new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. That's a fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the desert. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
What on earth has happened? Why is Perez there? Look, Leclerc won the race. We just showed it a minute ago. He crossed the line first. We all saw it. Perez is on top. Where on earth is Leclerc? He's not even on the podium. What on earth has this game done? Perez starts the celebrations as the winner, but he didn't win. Let's have a look here at just what's happened in the final race results. Exactly what's happened to Charles Leclerc, because the game has messed up royally here. What on earth has happened?
Well, not the result our points leader would have wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Cohen. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula 1.
Charles Leclerc is nowhere to be seen. Perez is being classed as the winner, and Leclerc finished 19th a lap down. What? I have no idea what has happened here, guys, but apparently Charles Leclerc finished in P19, but we saw him cross the line. He was P1. Regardless, though, we'll have to call it from here because the game has scammed Leclerc massively. Perez wins then, Russell second, Hamilton in third, Sainz takes fourth. His fifth place was enough to wrap up the championship regardless. Fernando comes home fifth, Pierre Gasly sixth, we finished in seventh in the end then. Vettel 8th, Bottas 9th, and Zhou takes the final point. We get 2 more extra points, so I'm not complaining there, but Leclerc has been scammed royally out of another race victory, and as a result, he falls to 4th place in the Drivers' Championship. Russell now in 2nd, 45 points back, but of course, unable to win the championship now. Perez in 3rd, Verstappen down to 5th, we still say in 8th, and quite way back from Lewis Hamilton here. Our chances of perhaps beating him in the Drivers' Championship are completely shot. And Alpine, more or less locked to finish in 5th place. Ferrari wrap up the Constructors' Championship 2 of Red Bull. So the first year of the Ferrari-Alfa Romeo partnership has been a fruitful one. They've been the dominant team, by far the team to beat this season and hold on to both championships. But Leclerc has been scammed royally. We're looking at the race directors here. There's no instance, nothing like that. There's not even like a DNF, nothing. So no idea what's happened to Leclerc here. But so he's been absolutely, completely scammed there. So I can only apologise to Leclerc and hope that we don't have to see stuff like that in F123, because that's not really on from F122 there. So thank God we only have one more race to do in this game. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Hopefully we won't have to deal with that in F123, but to find out, you'll have to stay tuned for Tuesday when the F123 content starts dropping. Have a good day, guys, and I shall see you later.